Hola, hola, bienvenidos a mi canal. Yo soy Sierra Flores. Today I'm going to talk to you all about la leyenda del Silbón. It's a little bit gruesome. It gets a little bit gritty and cringy at the end. If you're ready for that, then stick around and listen to the story. Last time we talked about La Llorona, and with that, a lot of people asked me to do a Spanish version of the story so they could practice their listening comprehension. I read your comments and I listened, and so I'm going to give you the story of El Silbón in Spanish and in English. Now, I'm going to start with the English version, but then I'm going to do the Spanish one immediately after. If you want to stick around for the Spanish version, I highly suggest that you do. Other than that, let me stop talking and let's get into the story. Long, long ago, there was a family and they had one son. Now, this son was very spoiled, very bratty, and he wanted everything done his way, when he said it, and how he said he wanted it done. And everybody just listened. They kind of just did whatever this kid said. He literally ran the show. And so as he grew up, surprise, surprise, nothing changed. He was still a little brat. And so one day he was like, hey, I want venison. Dad, go hunt me a deer, bring it back, and let my mom cook it for me because that's the only thing I want. And don't come back to this house empty-handed either. If you're not bringing me venison when you get back here, don't even come back. So, of course, the dad listens. He obeys his son. And he goes out and he goes deer hunting to try to find some deer for his son so he can eat. Time is passing. The day is going on, and Dad still hasn't come back with the deer meat for his son. So, what does the son do? He gets real pissed. He's so mad. Like, he's just angry. In my opinion, I think that this was hanger, true hanger, before hangry was even a thing. But anyway, he was super hangry, and he decides to go out into the forest to look for his dad to figure out where he was and why didn't he bring his meat. So he ends up finding his dad empty-handed, and the dad is like, hey, I'm sorry. I couldn't find any deer, and the ones I did find, they got away. I tried my best, but we're just gonna have to eat something different tonight, okay? Reasonable, right? Reasonable. What would be logical is to go home and eat a different meal. Nope. The son goes into a fury. Like, he is just raging. And in that fit of anger, he takes the dad's hunting knife, he stabs him several times, and then he cuts open his chest and removes his heart. He keeps on going down and he removes his organs, the liver, the kidneys, the rest of his entrails, and he puts them in a bag and takes them dripping wet with blood back to his mother and says, hey, look what I got. Dinner. Ready? Can you cook it up for me? Yeah. So his mom, of course, is like, oh yeah, honey, anything for you, anything for my prince. I'll cook this up. I'll put some seasoning on it. I'll give it a little bit of flavor. Ooh, it'll be so nice. So she goes, she cooks it up and makes this a delicious meal and serves it on the dinner table. They sit down. They start eating their meal. And then the mom starts getting really curious. She's like, hey, where's your dad? Didn't he come home? Did you see him? No? Huh. And then the mom is eating the meat and she's like, something don't taste right. Something does not taste right here. It's It's chewy, it's stringy, it's rough, it's nasty. Even though I seasoned it, it doesn't taste right. Something's up with this meat and your dad's missing. What is going on? So then the son, he breaks and he says, look, I'll admit it. I murdered him. Right out there in the woods, he dead. Bye-bye, daddy, he dead. So then the mom gets angry, understandably so, and she screams at him. She says, I curse you for all eternity. And he's like, what? So now Grandpa finds out that his son is murdered by none other than his grandson. He's angry, understandably so. But I really don't know how I feel about this punishment, about how the grandpa decided to go about it. I'll let you decide how you feel about it. But for me, I was like, what? Like, talk about some overkill. But you'll get it. You'll get it in a minute. So now Grandpa finds out that his son is murdered by none other than his grandson. He's angry, understandably so. But I really don't know how I feel about this punishment, about how the grandpa decided to go about it. I'll let you decide how you feel about it. But for me, I was like, what? Like, talk about some overkill. But you'll get it. You'll get it in a minute. So Grandpa is angry and he decides that he's going to punish the boy in the worst way possible. So what does he do? Ties him up, hires some people to whip him, to give him lashes all over his back. 40 lashes.
We'll probably get 40 lashes.
Oh no.
No, I don't know how many lashes it was. They just, like, a lot. To the point that his back was torn up, like meat just hanging out. You could see everything was just exposed, just bloody, just a mess. That was kind of graphic. Sorry, I guess I could have warned you there. After that beating, he thought to himself, oh, I'm so glad this is over. It wasn't. Part 2 of the punishment. They take chili peppers and squeeze out the juice, and then they just like rub it all on his back, all in his fresh wounds, his exposed. I'm not going to go into the details, but it's gross and it hurts, and he's like screaming. Part 3 of the punishment. After he is whipped and his back is all sliced open, he has chili juice, like hot chili pepper juice, rubbed all in his back. It's stinging. He's in pain. Then they stick a pack of rabid dogs on him. They're like, hey, I know you can't really walk and your back is messed up and you're literally inches from death. But by the way, there's some dogs coming. So good luck. You got it, champ. Hang in there. Obviously, he can't get away from the pack of rabid dogs. So they eat him up. They destroy him even worse, and he dies. Or so they thought. The townspeople just kind of saw all this happening, and then they just kind of like pieced out. They're like, I didn't see anything. Nothing happened here. Nope, I didn't see nothing. They walked away, and they thought he died. But no. He didn't die. No. He's not dead. Well, the grandson, the evil son, he died. But what arose was now El Silbón. Cue like thunder and lightning. El Silbón is doomed to roam the earth forever with a bag of bones on his back that he has to carry everywhere. That bag of bones are said to be those of his father that he killed. But then there are other versions of the story that say he carries bones of all his victims. There have been some people who have said to have eyewitness accounts of El Silbón. and they have written about it. It's on YouTube, and they're primarily in like Venezuela. And so some people believe it, some people don't. But all the people that have described him have said that it's a very, very tall, shadowy figure with torn, tattered clothes and a farmer's hat, like a big farmer's hat, like a big like sombrero almost. And that he always has a bag with him, and that bag always has bones sticking out of it. And it's also a tattered old bag. And that he has a whistle, and it whistles in a certain pitch. I'll see if I can get a quick clip of how that sounds. But they say that if you hear the whistle of El Silbón really close by, that means that he's actually far away. So you're good. You don't have to worry. But if you hear the whistle far away at a distance, hide your wife, hide your kids. You need to go inside, lock the doors, batten down the hatches, because El Silbón is coming for you. If you are someone that hears El Silbón and he's coming for you, there are 3 ways that you can ward him off. You have to really play to his fears, his deepest, darkest fears. Yes, the whistling demon does have fears. One of those is dogs, obvious reasons. Chili peppers. Super hot chiles. That is going to ward him off. Again, for obvious reasons. And the last thing that if you have with you, which I don't know, I guess some people have these, I don't know, a whip. If you have a whip with you, that's the 3rd and final thing that'll scare off El Silbón, and you'll be safe. You don't have to worry if you keep those 3 things with you. So don't forget, when you leave your house, bring your whip, your chiles, and your dogs. And there you have it, people. The story of El Silbón. Yo les voy a contar la historia del Silbón. Bueno, la historia empieza con un niño que no respetaba a nadie, ni el papá, la mamá, ni el abuelo. Era un niño mal creado, terrible. Entonces, ese niño cuando creció, era lo mismo, no cambió para nada. Todavía era súper mal creado y quería tener todo a su orden, en la manera que él quería. Un día, el niño mal creado levantó con ganas de comer venado. Entonces, él le dijo a su papá, hey, papi, yo quiero comer venado. Yo quiero que tú cases y mates un venado para que yo la pueda comer. El papá dijo que sí, claro que sí, hijo. El papá era bien obediente a su hijo. A saber por qué el hijo era jefe de la vida de los papás. Yo no entiendo. Entonces, el papá se fue. Él se fue a cazar y no podía encontrar nada. Nada. Y los venados que él encontró se escaparon y él no los podía matar. Y eso tomó mucho tiempo. Y el niño malcriado estaba desesperado. Y quería saber, ¿en dónde está mi papi? ¿Dónde está mi comida? Yo tengo hambre, ya, basta. Yo voy a ir para buscarlo, a saber dónde está mi papá. El niño malcriado salió para buscar a su papá, porque él ya no tenía paciencia, ya quería salir, ya quería comer y vaya a dormir. Él no podía dormir ni comer porque el papá todavía no ha llegado. Entonces, él salió para buscar a su papá. Y cuando lo encontró, el papá no tenía nada en la mano. Solamente el cuchillo para cazar. Y eso frustró el niño malcriado. Él se puso bien enojado. Y en vez de decir, oh, está bien, yo entiendo, cazar es difícil y si usted no encontró nada, está bien, vamos a la casa y podemos comer algo. El niño malcriado agarró el cuchillo del papá y empezó a matarlo. Y Ya después, cuando el papi ya murió, el niño decidió cortar el pecho y sacar el hígado, el corazón, todos los órganos. Él sacó y los puso en un bolsón. El hijo malcriado se fue para la casa y él le dio la bolsa a la mamá. Y decía que, hey mami, miren lo que tengo yo. Vamos a comer comida ahorita. Mira toda la carne que tengo. Cenamos como reyes hoy. Y la mamá, con mucho cariño y amor, le dijo a su hijo, claro que sí, mijo. Eso yo le voy a cocinar, voy a echar unas especies para darle un poquito de sabor y cenamos juntos. Cuando empezaron a comer, la mamá se fijó que la carne tenía un sabor bien raro. Era todo áspero. Y la mamá preguntó, ¿a dónde está tu papá? ¿Dónde encontraste esta carne? Porque tiene un olor feo y el sabor peor. El niño malcriado, él admitió que él mató al papá. La mamá se puso bien enojada. Le gritó a su hijo, te maldigo por toda la eternidad. El abuelo descubrió que su hijo fue matado por el nieto. Él se puso bien enojado también y él decidió que era tiempo de castigar a ese hijo malcriado. Yo no sé ustedes qué creen, pero para mí era demasiado. Ahorita vas a ver. Lo ató y azotó hasta que salió sangre y carne. El piel estaba separada de los huesos y los músculos. Era terrible. Y ya cuando el niño pensaba que, oh, todo está bien, ya no más, hoy gracias. No. El abuelo todavía no ha terminado. Entonces, con ese adolescente, él decidió seguir con la tortura. El abuelo sueltó unos perros rabiosos y esos perros, ellos mordaban el hijo y también comieron unos pedazos de carne del hijo y al fin murió. La gente que estaban allí, ellos estaban, es como que si ellos no vieron nada, dijeron que no, yo no vi nada, no. Y ellos se fueron todos. Cuando murió el espíritu del malcriado, resucitó el Silbón. Según la leyenda, la gente dice que el Silbón es bien alto y que siempre anda con ropa rascada, que él siempre lleva una bolsa que tiene huesos adentro y también que anda siempre con un sombrero. Si alguna persona oye el sonido del silbato, significa una de dos cosas. Una, si oyes ese sonido, está bien cerquita, como que está en el mismo cuarto, por ejemplo. Si oyes bien cerquita, quiere decir que está bien, que usted está seguro. Eso significa que nada va a pasar y que puede vivir tu vida relajada. Pero al contrario, si alguien oye ese sonido del silbato, si ellos lo oyen bien lejos, como a una distancia, eso significa que hay problemas, que hay que entrar a la casa, que cierra las puertas con llave y hay que tomar lo más precaución que pueda, porque el Silbón ya viene por ti. Hay 3 maneras de protegerse si uno tiene perritos, chile o un azote. Si alguien tiene una de las tres cosas esas, puede protegerse porque le tiene mucho miedo de estas tres cosas. That is the story. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'm really curious to know what your thoughts are. Did you think that the grandpa went a little overboard with his punishments? What new words in Spanish did you learn? What other stories do you want me to cover for next time? Drop those comments down below, and don't forget to like this video and share it with someone who's also learning Spanish. And also, don't forget to subscribe. Hasta la próxima.